the gourds are doing all right. They look kind of droopy right now because the sun came out and it's been, you know, frying them for over an hour now. Of course, I start bragging about it being cloudy and windy, and it, you know, sun comes out and the wind stops. But they are acting like they want to start climbing up my little structure I made for them. That one's doing really well. That's the only one I put in the middle there. Then I got, what, 4 more down here. And yeah, the gourds are starting to grow. I got to start training them up and where I want them to go. Very nice. This will be a bonus if these things produce. Hi, Bob. Find a good place to nap. Yeah. Making sure that I see you when I come in. Is your food bowl empty? I bet it's not. I just filled it up not long ago. You should be good, Bob. Where's the little thiefster at? I haven't seen her much today. Well, she was... I think I wore her out, Bob. She was walking back and forth with me when I was hauling all those branches up to the burn pile. I think I wore her out. I don't know where she is right now. Yeah. It's cloudy now. You guys can come out and play. Private Benjamin hasn't gotten the memo yet. They were all in there earlier just staying out of the heat, I guess. But everybody's out now except Private Benjamin. There's Betty White and Punky Brewster and the big guy. Is anybody hiding in the bushes? I see movement in there. Oh yeah, there's Mary Tyler Moore's in there. So we got alright, where are the rest of your ladies at? Oh, just number 2. Yeah. That fence is on, you can't get me, buddy. Oh, and number 2 might be hiding in a bush somewhere. Or she might be laying an egg. She's been getting, oh, I'd say like, you know, an egg, 2 eggs every 3 days. She lays eggs 2 days and then takes one off. So that's good. Yeah, you guys all think I'm bringing you a treat, don't you? It's not quite that time of night. Yeah, Private Benjamin comes running. The gang's all here except number 2. Where's number 2? Is she laying an egg? I see you in there, number 2. And you've even started laying eggs in the regular nest box again. Alright, it's time for a quick snack before I get back to work out here. I have an empty garden bed there, and I need to start some seeds in it. So I am going to do that now. It's about 6:30. It's cloudy, slight breeze, not much of a breeze, but a little bit. But it's better than doing this in, you know, 95 degrees and sunny. So I'm at least going to get started. No way I'll do that entire garden bed tonight. Before I go any further, Courageous Joy, go check out their channel. I'll put a link. Asked me how I was planting this stuff in the straw, if I was just planting it straight in there. So I might as well demonstrate. I just went ahead and did 1 row, 5 little holes in there, and now I'll explain. Upside down. Okay, so what I do is I've got hay, cardboard, hay, and some weeds, and lime. I also put lime down on this row. So when I go to plant seeds, I find the cardboard there. This has got a nice pointy edge on it, so I can point a hole, and then I just rip it apart just a little bit, and that's good. Then what I do is I take some garden soil mixed with cocoa coir or whatever you got, and I fill that. The reason why I put the hole in the cardboard is so the roots will definitely get through the cardboard and down to the ground. And then I'll put seeds there, and then I will cover that up with, you know, whatever the seeds call for. What I'm going to plant today are the Cosmos Summer Sunshine Mix. And what it says is they like a 1/4 inch depth. So I'll just put the seeds in there, and I'll put a, you know, maybe a 1/4, 1/2 inch, because it'll mat down once it's wet. And that's how I've been planting the seeds. Same concept with transplants. You just might have to make a larger hole there to get the transplant in there. And then I just added a little garden soil around the transplant, but definitely digging through or puncturing a hole in the cardboard is essential so that the roots can get through there. A lot of times you can, like if I covered the cardboard in compost or garden soil and then put hay on top of it, well, that compost or garden soil can keep the cardboard wet, and then, you know, when it's wet, roots will go into the cardboard and through it. But this way, the cardboard, as I'm seeing in my other patches, the cardboard is not staying wet, because all I have on top of it is hay, and hay doesn't retain the moisture very well. But yeah, so that's how I'm doing this. In this garden bed, at least to start off, I'm going to put them a little bit further apart, just because I want to get this garden bed planted. So I've got 5 across. That'll do for now. I'm going to do like, I don't know, 20 or so, 30, maybe 30 or so holes, and then I'll go through and fill them with garden soil. Then I'll plant the seeds, then I'll cover them up in garden soil. So, yep, I'm going to do that. One thing, if you are doing this with cardboard, is that do the holes before you do the transplants, because when you're messing around with the cardboard trying to puncture a hole in it, you're actually moving the cardboard. So if I already had a transplant right here, while I was doing that, I would have been yanking the cardboard, and that would have yanked the transplant around. So it's a good idea to do all of your holes first, so that you're not undoing the work that you had previously done. And because I am not doing transplants, all I need is a little hole so that the roots can get down in there. There's probably a better instrument than this for puncturing a hole in the cardboard, but I just haven't figured it out yet. And also, it's better when the cardboard is wet, this stuff will just smash right through it. So if you think about it ahead of time, get your garden bed wet so that you've got an easier time poking holes in the cardboard. But also, you know, my knees would be sopping wet right now if I had done that. So, you know, there's always pros and cons to everything. And I'm going to go on the other side to get the other two. It's just easier. And then once I puncture the cardboard, there's hay underneath there, so I'm just kind of separating it until I can feel the ground, because that's where you want the roots going, is into the ground. And hopefully what this is doing is providing you know, water retention down there, and it's encouraging, you know, the worms and the bugs and the funguses and the bacteria. It's encouraging them to get to work breaking stuff down and turning this into soil. You know, this will probably be not next year. Well, you know, next year, if I wanted to keep the garden beds at in the same places, and I've got enough compost next year, which I got to get started on that. But you know, next year I could just cover this in compost and then plant straight into the compost. But this is building up soil for the future. It's not doing a whole lot this year other than weed suppression and moisture retention. And also with the moisture retention, you're also keeping those roots from being fried in the sun. And that's always a good thing. Oh man, how do you open these things without a... Don't tell me I gotta get up and go find scissors. Dude! Yeah, I should have a pocket knife. Alright, here we go. Take 2. Cosmos Summer Sunshine Mix. These are not as tall as the others, supposedly. So the cut flower, you know, that might be iffy, but it's got yellows, which is not in the other varieties that I'm growing. So I at least want to try these. And, you know, I'm experimenting for future years, for the most part. Alright, so that's 30 more spots where I planted the Cosmos Summer Sunshine Mix. 65 to 70 days to bloom, so that's, you know, end of August. Middle of July, August. Yeah, middle to end of August. That works for me. Fall is a good time for these kinds of colors. And I only got 32 of the 34 filled with these, so there were only like, I did 2 seeds, so there's only like 60 to 70 seeds in here. The other 2 I just put in the Bright Lights Cosmos. So that's all I'm going to do on this garden bed tonight. And what I'm going to do, since I'm out here with the bucket of soil, is some of the spots in the other garden bed didn't germinate, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of the Bright Lights Cosmos seeds in places that nothing's growing. There's Fifi. Hey, lazy kitty. Are you teasing the rooster? 'Cause he sure is keeping his eye on you. Oh, too cute. As usual, we've got the late night crew, and Betty and Mary Tyler Moore are already in there. I'm not sure where number 2 is, but I will go check as I always do. Right, big guy? What do you think, big guy? Should we reveal your name tomorrow? I think it's a fitting name. I do. But, you know, I'm kind of long-winded sometimes telling stories, so I need to tell the story of where the name comes from. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. Looking at it from the other direction. So I got 34 new seeds planted. Well, I put 2 seeds in each spot, so 34 more spots. And then I filled in about 30 spots in this front row here of Cosmos. So, yeah, not a bad day. 60 some seed places for seeds. I don't know what you call that. Whatever. But I'm starting to get some orange blooms down here. Oh, I got to show you this. That is my first 4 o'clock flower. Nice little red one. Very nice. I don't think those get long enough for cut flowers, but only one way to find out. And I've got my first bachelor's button bloom. Little blue one. You don't see a lot of blue, at least on my seed packets. So yeah, looking forward to those, for those to start blooming also. That's gonna be it from Bobblehead Homestead for this Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. My sister is in town. She's doing some reconnaissance work for me, checking out the farmers market in Russellville, which is open 4 to 7. That might be an option for me. Most of the farmers markets around here are Saturday mornings. So Danville is 8 to noon, Dardanelle is 8 to noon, and Russellville has one from 8 to 1. Danville is half an hour away, Dardanelle is 50 minutes away, Russellville is about an hour away. So, you know, you got to figure in gas. You know, my truck gets about 18 miles per gallon. So Danville is like 28 miles, so that's, you know, 3 gallons of gas. That's almost $9 in gas just to get there and back. So I have to factor that into whether or not it's worth my time and effort to do a booth there. I don't have enough flowers right now. Gladiolas, there were some of those were available, and so yeah, farmers market, it might not even happen this year. I don't have a table. They're different. They follow the law at some they don't follow the law. Oh, one thing, my sister went to the Dardanelle and they were selling transplants in soil. So that one was run privately. It's just, you know, somebody from the area wanted to set that up, and so that is not funded or run by the government. Whereas the one in Danville is run by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So, you know, sometimes it depends on who you ask. A lot of times there are just crazy old laws that are still on the books that are never enforced anymore. So I'm hoping that soil law, which I mentioned before, I hope it's just not being enforced. I don't want to get into the details, but, you know, it's different if you talk to a government employee versus talking to a private manager of a farmer's market. I'll just go there. I don't want to, you know, I want to be you know, upstanding vendor at some of these, so I don't want to don't want to get into too much detail. But and then as far as I do know what the law is as far as selling bushes, trees, shrubs, blah blah blah, you have to have a nurseryman certification. So somebody asked me if Walmart was exempt from that soil law, and yeah, if they've got a nurseryman certified person on staff, then yeah, they can get away with it. But it sounds like to me that law was antiquated and it's not being enforced. And that's one thing you need to think about when you're moving into a new area and wanting to, the bugs are just eating me alive. When you're moving into an area and want to start selling a product is, you know, you can read the textbook law and it might be a little bit different. You know, you know, I'm from Illinois. In Chicago, you got to bribe. I'm sorry, you have to give campaign contributions to the right Democrat to do business in Chicago. So, you know, I'm familiar with every area has its own little fiefdoms. We'll just call it that. So that's one thing is you got to learn your market, and that's something that I'm trying to do this year is learn my market. I've been into Danville. My sister's been to Dardanelle. Hopefully she's at Russellville tonight. And I would go there, but again, that's a gas expense that I really can't afford. So yeah, that's going to be it. This is probably going to be a 20-minute long video. I'm itching like crazy. So I am going to do some watering and probably call it a night. It's, I don't know, that took me 45 minutes. Took a couple breaks in there. Not too bad. Thanks everybody. Take care and take her easy.